May 4th, 2017. How do I remember that date? Not because I'm a wonk and I just remember dates, but May 4th, 2014 was 23 years since my son Marcus passed away. He passed away on May 3rd. So when the House Republicans passed the AHCA, I know exactly where I was at in the moment they passed that bill. I remember exactly. And I was devastated. Not devastated necessarily for me, but I was devastated because I knew what that meant for families like my family that went through what I went through with my son Marcus. Marcus was born with pulmonary valve stenosis, and that is when the valve is too narrow to pump the blood between the heart and the lungs. Now, we're about 3 miles from the University of Utah, and for me, that's relevant. Why is that relevant? Because I was 22 years old when I was pregnant with twins, my first children, my first pregnancy, twins. Normal pregnancy. I was young. I was healthy. I just had a doctor's appointment. Everything was fine. And then, that night, I had an ache in my back. And the doctor tells me, go to the emergency room. I said, why? It's not time yet. He said, go to the emergency room. I will meet you there. And I did. They told me I was going to have my babies 11 weeks early. Now, one of the twins were fine. Malcolm now, 26 years old, strapping young man, healthy, 6 feet 4. He's great. Marcus wasn't so lucky. Now, keep in mind, I was 22 years old. And a lot of people that just graduated from the University of Utah, 22, 23 years old. And the representatives are telling them, that's okay. If you're young and you're healthy, your insurance is going to be cheaper. I was young and I was healthy. So they're trying to tell you, if you check the box for just the insurance that you need, it's going to be cheaper for you. I was 22 years old. I would have checked that box for cheaper insurance. But what ended up happening, I had a child that was born very, very sick. I was 22 years old and I had a child that had to spend months in the ICU. Months. I had a child that ended up dying on the operating table from the first surgery, but they revived him. And at the end result, he ended up with cerebral palsy. Now, this is a sad story, but let me tell you, it is because of Medicaid. When Marcus was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, we were able to get the adaptive equipment that Marcus needed to have a quality of life that right now, when I think about Marcus, I think about Marcus's smile. Yeah. This is Marcus. This is Marcus and Malcolm, actually, when he was born. And I want you to take a look at this picture. Because when they say 23 million more Americans are going to lose their health care, I don't want us to say 23 million more Americans are going to lose their health care. I want us to say Marcus is going to lose his health care. I want us to say Douglas is going to lose his health care. That's what I want us to say. I want us to put a name. Put a name to the number. I have a son, Douglas, who is autistic. 1 in 58 children in Utah are diagnosed with autism. When you strip Medicaid away from those children, we go to Special Olympics every year, and this is a picture of some of the athletes at Special Olympics. This is who you are impacting. Don't say 23 million. Don't say 880 billion. Put a name to it. It is Marcus. It is Malcolm. It is Douglas. It is Robert. It is a name. These are human beings we're talking about. We're not saying just a number. I am Darlene McDonald. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.